We are now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. It's great to see you today. I am Sally Reyes from the team of Sergeant at Arms. Would you please take out your telephones and unplug them, turn it off, silence. Thank you. Please help me welcome our president, our sponsor, DTM, and guardian angel and general intuitive. Thank you. This is going to be Cynthia Stott.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Sally. Whoops. Hi, Sally. Thanks for that great introduction. Welcome to Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters. We have a very special event today. We want to welcome all of you, our members and our guests. We have just a few guests. We have Dina, and you can introduce yourself and say hi in the chat. And as well as Andrea, who's from sorry, I got a message from Sheena. Just a sec. We also have Andrea from Heart to Heart, who's a guest, and she's also a guest speaker in our Speechcraft. If you could say hi in the chat. Great. And Linda's going to be giving an amazing speech, and we have a special table topics today. So let's just start off right away with introducing you to our Toastmaster, who is Tala bin Hamid. Take it away, Tala. Are you on mute?
Thank you. Yeah,
okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, President Linda. And just the most familiar words in the age of Zoom. Am I audible?
Yes. Are
Edible?
Okay.
edible, audible.
Well, it's a month of fasting for us, so blurred lines between the two. So thank you so much. Today, our theme is leadership. And it is such a vast topic. But one thing that I have realized, and this is one of the things that I'm fond of saying, in order to be a leader, you have to forget about being a leader. The planet cannot have 8 billion leaders, but it can have 8 billion servers. So leadership is just an increased capacity to serve humanity. It's nothing more. It's not about the title. And even if you're not a leader, even if you're not commanding a team or a family or a workforce, you're still leading your own life. You're still your own leader. And leadership qualities have nothing to do with there being an actual position of leadership. So this is my food for thought for all of you on leadership. And with that, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce our Journal Evaluator for today, who is Toastmaster Patricia Mensah Larkai. Over to you, Madam. Take it away.
Thank you very much, our Toastmaster, for tonight or today. I'm joining you in the evening time zone. I would be observing how our meeting goes today, and at the end of the prepared speech segment, I will come and give an evaluation of how we all played out our roles. I won't be doing this alone. I will have a team that is going to be supporting me. And so I would love to invite to the virtual lectern our timer in the person of our VPE, Kathleen Field. Take it away, Kathy.
Look for these homemade cards to let you know when you have achieved your minimum time, start to wind up, and you have 30 seconds. So the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. The evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. And then we have a very cool special table topics for us and those are 2 to 3 minutes. So just watch these little cards and we'll be cooking with gas.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for explaining your role. We must all acknowledge the fact that as Toastmasters, we are here to improve on our public speaking, and that definitely includes how we use our words. To help us oversee that aspect of our development, I would love to invite to the virtual lectern our grammarian and doubling as our counter for this meeting, Toastmaster Kimmy. Over to you. You have the virtual lectern.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today, our word is acknowledge. And acknowledge means a variety of things. It means to recognize the rights and authority of, you acknowledge authority, you acknowledge status, to disclose knowledge or agreement with, so you're acknowledging an agreement, to express gratitude or obligation for something. I had a team in my heart to heart club. We produced a newsletter, we won awards, and I am going to acknowledge my members for their contribution. To take notice of, you acknowledge something that somebody has done or somebody themselves. To make known the receipt of, you acknowledge the receipt. And to recognize as genuine or valid. You will get a mark every time you use that word in anything you say in this club, acknowledge. I will also be counting ahs and ums and looking for turns of phrases that are really good or ones that maybe could be refined. Also count filler words like Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, our grammarian and our counter. And we must acknowledge the fact that it takes a lot to double up and wear a lot of hats. I would now invite our Toastmaster of the day to take the virtual stage. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, our role players and our General Evaluator. Already looking like a very, very exciting meeting. And it is about to turn up a notch because I am about to introduce the club mentor, Jay Ligda, who is the CTO and founding partner of SyncFab. He's also active in Toastmasters, DTM, and area director of District 57, Area C8. And what's he here for? He's here to conduct the business session. So, sir, the floor is yours. Over to you.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, fellow leaders worldwide. I am one of the club mentors of Leaders Worldwide, and it has fallen upon me as to run the upcoming elections again. I know what you're thinking, we just had elections, but because we chartered in the middle of a term, we are starting again for the next year. The 2021-2022 Toastmasters year will need a set of officers to run this club. The 7 officers' roles are President, Vice President of Education, Vice President of Membership, Vice President of Public Relations, Secretary, Treasurer, and Sergeant at Arms. I'll go over these roles real briefly. It's open for anybody to nominate for these roles. You can self-nominate or nominate somebody. If you want to nominate somebody, please check with that person first. Since I'm the chair, the election chair, send me the nominations, but make sure you check with the person first if they're willing to accept that nomination. Right now, we have somebody running for president or nominated for president, vice president of education. Membership and VPPR are still open, but there's somebody interested in running for either of those positions. Secretary, we have somebody running for secretary, treasurer, and sergeant at arms. So we're already generating a pretty full slate of officers. Once again, it's open to anybody, and we're welcome to have more than one person. That is what an election is all about, to elect officers that are running. More than one creates an election. Just real quick, president is responsible for the general supervision and operation of the club. Vice president of education manages all the education programs within the club, make sure that the members are getting their educational goals met. Vice president of membership manages activities that sustain and increase the members of the club. There's a little marketing and some administration, making sure the members are getting their needs met and converting guests into members. Very important role. Vice president of public relations implements public relation activities to create a positive image for the club to the public. This is reach out to get guests into the club. A good way to look at these three vice president positions is that the vice president of public relations brings members into the club. The vice president of membership helps convert those guests into members and takes care of them as members. And the vice president of education helps the members to achieve their goals. They work in conjunction with each other. Secretary manages all record keeping and correspondence for the club. The treasurer manages the club's finances, helps create a budget, helps collect dues when dues are due. And the sergeant at arms maintains the meeting room, our wonderful Zoom meeting room here, and also helps greet guests and keeps track of any supplies if we need them in Leaders Worldwide virtual club. It's a slightly different role than normal clubs. So those are our 7 roles. If you're interested in nominating yourself or nominating another member, once again, check with the member first, and then let me know as the election chair. We will be closing nominations in 2 weeks. I'll make this announcement again next week at the evening meeting, and then we will have our elections on May 31st, I believe, which is a special meeting, the 5th Sunday meeting or 5th Monday meeting. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Jay. That was absolutely comprehensive. And I believe if anyone who isn't running yet, the floor is open for them and they can file their nominations. Now we move on to our keynote speaker. And I must acknowledge that I was intrigued when I got to witness her in this club and also read up her profile on LinkedIn. She's a leadership expert and trainer on a mission to do nothing less than fundamentally change how leadership is done in the world. And aren't we all on that same mission? She has coined the term confluence, blending the masculine style of command with the feminine style of influence. And she challenges women to break through accepted norms of what a leader should be. So that's an amazing, amazing concept. And she's also a speaker, best-selling author, and leadership trainer and mentor. She is Toastmaster Linda Patton, and she will be delivering her keynote. The keynote is titled Awaken the Leader. The duration of this keynote is 13 to 15 minutes. So the timer, please note. Everybody, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Linda Patton. Awaken the Leader, Linda Patton. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Tala. I really appreciate that introduction. It's 1970. The Vietnam War is raging. Protests continue to be coordinated across the country. My boyfriend was just killed in a helicopter crash, and I'm entering the United States Army. Telling his mom this was one of the most difficult things I had to do, And yet I had this overwhelming feeling that I needed to become an officer and to finish the work that he had started. As an officer, I would have to lead. Thinking back on this, I realized that leadership at that time was an extremely difficult role to play. I knew many officers who had been killed by their own troops for how they led. I wanted to run screaming to the nunnery. But as I've always said, I probably would have been elected the Reverend Mother or the head mistress, and I never would have seen it coming. And here I was, a brand new second lieutenant, waiting for her first duty assignment. I'd been asked where I wanted to be assigned, and I said, Vietnam. And headquarters said, no. My first post was in Massachusetts. About a week after coming on board, my post commander called me into his office and he said, Lieutenant Frank, I want you on my Army recruiting team. You will be an excellent representative for the women. I panicked. I can't do this. I can't stand up in front of a group of students and speak. I'm terrible at it. Or so my grandmother had told me, oh, so many years before. I had to come up with an excellent replacement. Sir, you don't want me. You've got the wrong person. You want Lieutenant Armstrong. She's an English teacher. She's brilliant, and she should be speaking. Without raising his voice, he said, no, Lieutenant, that's not what's happening here. You will be on my team. You will lead my recruiters. I learned that I could lead. I led the team successfully, and I didn't die. In fact, I had twice as many recruits as my male counterparts. Remember, this was during Vietnam, when being in the military was not considered fashionable.
Yeah.
Approximately 9 months later, I was ordered back to Alabama and the home of the Women's Army Corps. I was instantly thrust into a new leadership position, this time as the executive officer of a basic training company of about 180 women. In addition, the commander of WAC Center decided that I would become a great parade adjutant. What the heck does that mean? It means that I get to stand on a very large field with 2,300 women across it. That's a heck of a lot of women to move in sync with just my voice. In basic, commands were given over and over and over again until it became second nature to move. I learned that commands were a two-step process. The first part was the preparatory command, such as battalion. It gave the group the understanding that, oh, I need to be ready for something. The second piece was the actual command. In this case, attention. When the order was given, I watched 2,300 women move immediately. I experienced a sense of awe and wonder as all of those women moved as one to the sound of my voice. I felt it in my head and in my body that I could lead, and I could do it with power, with strength, and with authority. Telling others what to do is the mode of command. It comes from the head, where organization, structure, and strategy live. There's no room for feelings in this person's army. About 2 years later, I actually left the active military. I began a career in insurance and banking that ended as a vice president of training. I felt right at home in corporate. I knew this style of leading. Not surprising, corporate leaders at the time were predominantly male, and they used command, at least while I was there. The few women that I met in senior management positions had a leadership style that emulated their male counterparts, and they led. No shock, all of my mentors at the time were male. I was comfortable and simply fit in with command because it's what I'd experienced and what I'd perfected. I told my people what to do, from what was it they were going to do, to how to do it, to when it was due. Because they were in corporate, they just did it and really didn't have any thoughts about whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. Our projects were always done on time, on budget, and our customer evaluation forms were always at the top of the charts. I thought I was a good leader. What I didn't see was that my people were looking for that next job and left me just as soon as they could. I still thought my leadership was pretty good and that I was giving them the opportunity and the experience that they needed to take that next job. What I never realized was that they were running from me and from my commands. But that would change soon and drastically. I was at a training conference and I was in the ladies' room and I was fixing my hair when our event coordinator came in and she said to me, "How do you like working for Wells Fargo?" I said, "I don't work for Wells Fargo, I work for Crocker Bank." "Not anymore. Wells just bought you." I was stunned. Why didn't I know this was happening? What about my people? What about their jobs? What about me? Where was I going to go? I was 8 months pregnant at the time. Who would hire me? I was terrified. I had a 2-year-old at home and we were a 2-income family and I didn't have a job. I froze. Job hunting was just not in the cards for me. I needed to find a different path. With strong determination, I started my own multi-association management, event planning, and training company. This gave me the catalyst to be more flexible and to perhaps shift from command. What I discovered is that command is at the far end of the pendulum, where first responders like fire and police and the military led. And this style of leadership does not work in the world of the entrepreneur. In the entrepreneurial environment, influence is how you lead people. Influence includes creativity, communication, cooperation, collaboration, and emotion. To get there, I would have to swing the pendulum 180 degrees. And I had to get in touch with my feelings to fully experience the aspects of influence more easily. I had to move my leadership from my head to my heart. And I didn't realize there might be something in between. I got to know my people really well, and I wanted to be their best friend. I wanted to know their dreams, their desires, their visions, their motivation, and all of that. but they wanted to know the same from me. And I shared way too much. It made it challenging to have those difficult conversations, like when they weren't doing the job. And they didn't understand why I would be giving them grief about it. In addition, my people love to come into my office and to say, hey, I can't get this done. Can you do it? And of course I did, because that's just the person who I am. But that didn't work for me either. I became frustrated and angry and confused. My people were running amok. It didn't matter whether I used command or influence. I wanted to throw in the towel and quit being a leader. What is my perfect model of leadership? There had to be a word to describe it. I set my mind wandering and looking for just that perfect word. And the word that came, as Tali said, was confluence. It's that beautiful alignment of command and influence. Leadership guru John Maxwell says, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And I totally disagree with that. I firmly believe that we need the command piece to balance the feminine side. The power of confluence comes from the dance world. Solo dancers can be beautifully choreographed, but the awe and the amazement comes from dancers in partnership. The role of the man is to set the scene for the woman. She brings the emotion and the creativity to the lifts, to the spins, to the turns, as well as the elegance. At the end of the day, command and influence perform that as well. My own journey through leadership has been a bumpy, twisty road. Yet stepping into confluence has just become second nature. So let me tell you a quick story about being on a jury and not being the foreperson. I had an agenda. I had bought a Christmas cruise. We were going to leave on Saturday, and today was Wednesday, and we just gotten the case to deliberate. The jury selected a foreperson who was very experienced and very hesitant. He wanted more information, and by the end of the day, we hadn't moved any closer to coming to a verdict. I asked the bailiff the next morning for some flip chart paper and markers. And I put on each page the charge and what it took to convict and hung them on the wall. Command. Then, using my influence and curiosity, I opened up a dialogue with the jury. The evidence on each charge was carefully and deliberately reviewed and a verdict rendered. I never pushed with command. The jury felt heard and appreciated with influence. The verdict was rendered on all counts within an hour, and I made my cruise. I have today. Buddha says, yesterday is gone, tomorrow is yet to come. We only have today. Mr. Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Linda Patton. And what a concluding thought. And I was just thinking today that we worry so much about the past and the future, and 90% of our time and mind space is occupied by what is either gone or is yet to come. We fail to enjoy even the present. So let's take this to heart and let's try to enjoy this little pocket of heaven that we have right now and forget about everything else. So this keynote will be followed by a Q&A session, which will be moderated by our president, Cynthia Stott. So your questions are welcome in the chat box. And DT and Cynthia, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. That was an amazing speech. Oh my gosh, Linda, I'm just flabbergasted. We got from Deanna McEnroy, we got awesome speech, all in caps. And from Kathleen Pill, OMG, this is the best thing in the freaking world. Brilliant information in one complete package. Power, play, service to the group, service to your source. Oh, awesome. And Dr. Michelle Peticola says, Linda, this was the best speech I ever heard. I wish I could stay for the Q&A. I can't. Best of luck with your Mary talk. Yes. Awesome. And you can put your Q&As in the chat, questions, and I will do some questions and answers with Linda. And Linda, I want to say that you have talked many times about confluence, but that was the absolute best speech that I've ever heard. And you did brilliantly explaining to us your amazing new word.
Thank you so very much. I will put in the chat the link to, I'm giving the speech. You are my practice audience, and I want to thank you so very much for being polite, interested, and just being here, because it really helps me to get better with the speech. But I am speaking in Los Angeles live, although we are live streaming as well, at not Mary Talks, it's Sue Talks. And so I will put the link in the chat. The only thing to know is that I'm the first one on the stage. And I asked the organizer, I said, why would you do that to me? And she said, because of your energy, you will bring the energy of the whole room up. And I went, okay. So I feel honored. Yeah.
I agree, Linda, you're going to rock it.
Oh, thank you.
Just gonna rock it. You're just amazing. And Kathleen Phil wants to know, how has Toastmasters helped you in this journey?
There are several. One, Oz and Ohms. I acknowledge the fact that Toastmasters has had an integral part in all of this. Partly in just being able to craft a speech. I have some terrific mentors. Cynthia is one, Christine Robinson, Carolyn Douglas, Michelle Peticolas. All of them have been really instrumental in this road that I've taken. Bringing this all together and really the story of how I got to Confluence, putting it all together. Toastmasters has been great in giving me bits and pieces of it. And now I've been able to put it together into one complete speech. So even though I fought almost as hard about coming into Toastmasters as I did being a leader, I have to say that December 2019 was a watershed month. And I think it's just been fantastic as far as my career and where I've gone.
And that's when you started your Toastmasters officially journey. And now you're going to take it to the next level on June 30th as a distinguished Toastmaster at DTM.
Yeah, we're Cynthia and I, actually Cynthia went to Toastmasters and said, could we do it in June? And they told us we just needed the paperwork in by June 1st and that I could actually get it on June 30th. So excited. Plus, we've done OATM for 2 years in a row. And we've done Triple Crown 2 years in a row. And this year I was in the top 10 for Triple Crown.
Amazing, amazing journey. And again, Kathleen Pill said, oh, Deanna McEnroy says, very awesome. All in caps, she's so excited. And from Kathleen Pill, for all of us, you have given us so much. And that is absolutely true. You have been the glue to hold this leadership worldwide together through the Speechcraft, the amazing 10-week Speechcraft, through the chartering of this club, and through the continuation of this club. You have been absolute glue for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And as they say, it takes a village for us to have this club and to have the vibrancy and the excitement that we have. I mean, I could feel all of you as I was giving the speech. And it's interesting because I do speak on stage, and there are moments when you look at the audience and you go, they're not with me. And I could feel you all with me. And that just, it made my heart sing. Thank you.
And so true. We are right with you. And from Kimmy Avery, she says, this is my favorite speech you ever done.
Thanks,
You
Kimmy.
just knocked it out of the park.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And Deanna gives you the greatest compliment. She says, I wish to do that speech, all in caps.
Thank you, Deanna.
And Rosalind Kahn says, loved it. What is the significance of the 30th deadline? Incredible, loved it. Is that the June 30th deadline?
Yeah.
So what's the significance to
The
you?
significance is I get it in this Toastmasters year. So in the 2021 Toastmasters year, if they said, no, you have to finish the 30th of June, you won't get it until July, I wouldn't have been recognized until May of next year at our district conference and that kind of thing. So and it's only 18 months from when I joined Toastmasters.
record time.
Yes,
The two of
thank
us
you.
are on opposite ends of a bell curve. I'm 13 years to get my DTM and you're 18 months.
And I think it looks like Eileen has a question. You have your hands up, Eileen?
While you're unmuting her mic, Deanna says July 9th is her birthday. Happy birthday. And Rosalind says incredible, phenomenal. 20 years for her DTM.
And somebody just said that it took them 20 years.
That was Rosalind Kahn, 20
Yeah,
years.
All
I
right.
didn't have a question. I was just clapping.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you have any parting words for us, Major Linda Patton?
Major Linda Patton. I just want to say that stepping into confluential leadership is something that I would love you all to strive for. It is such a powerful way to move people between, yes, you need to use command to organize, to structure, and to have strategy. But what you lead with is the influence, the C's, creativity, community, collaboration, cooperation, all of that, plus your emotion. And I don't want any of you to be afraid of leadership or to be afraid of letting your emotion show when you are a leader. I know I drop into command very easily, and I have to watch that because it can be very sharp, very short, and very commanding. And bringing in that influence and that emotion is really a piece I work on every day. But it allows me to be between command and influence.
So amazing. And Linda, I think another C that's really important is compassion.
Yes. Yes. Compassion not only for others, but compassion for yourself as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're going to be giving a Sue talk, and you said that was on 13th. Is that right?
Yeah, it's on Thursday in the evening. I will put the link to register in the chat. I would love to have you there. It'd be great to just know that you're in the audience. I do not expect you to be in LA. My kids, my husband are going to join us live streaming. And like I said, if you can't stay for the whole thing, just know that I'm the first speaker on the dais, and I would love to have you there cheering me on. Thank you.
Yay! And you're going to put the link in there Will
will.
it be on Zoom?
Yeah, I'm
To
not
register?
sure. Again, I'm not coordinating it, so
Okay,
I don't know. I just have the registration link.
okay,
Okay.
put the registration link in there. And then is there a cost for this registration?
Yes, it's $49 to be there for live or live streaming.
Okay, for $9. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
but when you consider if you wanted to be there live and have dinner with us, it's $129. So it's a good deal.
Okay, and we had one more question: how to manage disappointment as a leader in Toastmasters? I don't know. Disappointment. I guess I would look at what you're disappointed about in Toastmasters as a leader, and see what part you have in it. Whenever we have disappointment, oftentimes it's because we have a way to make that better, by connecting with the people and seeing what the issue was, and making sure it goes well. So great. Thank you so much, Linda. We just really appreciate your speech today. We wish you all the best at your Sue Talks, and
Thank
we know
you.
you're going to just rock it, rock it, rock it, rock it. Make us
Thank you
proud.
so much. And it's been a pleasure to be able to speak to you all. And we'll see you all on the next side.
Okay, back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Such an enlightening session. And what do we have next? We have a 5 minutes break, and that break will allow us to let Toastmaster Linda's speech sink in a little bit more. And also, preferably, especially I need it more, to walk around a bit to get some exercise. So I would request the Zoom host to pause the recording for these 5 minutes. It's as per my clock, it's 11:43. So we will reconvene at 11:48. So everyone, please take a break. Thank you so much.
And we are recording.
So everyone, welcome back to the meeting. And the fun is only starting because we are on to our education session. So it will be prepared speeches and then a table topic. So our first speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Cassandra Garabedian, and please correct me if I'm mispronouncing it. Please announce speech, part, project, and timing.
For Sally Race, Path Presentation Mastery, Level 3, Project, Connect with Storytelling, Time, 5 to 7 minutes, Title, God Don't Make No Junk, Purpose Statement. The purpose of this project is the member to practice using story with speech, of giving a speech that is a story. Note for the evaluator. The member completing this project is focusing on using stories in a speech or creating a speech that is a story. The speech member use any type of story, personal, well-known fiction, or one of his or her own creation. Listen for a well-organized speech that is a story or includes a story. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Sally Race is an avid gardener, singer, yogi, world traveler, and intuition enthusiast. Today, she will be telling us, God don't make no junk. Everyone, please put your hands together for God don't make no junk, Toastmaster Sally Race.
Thank you. It was a gorgeous sunny morning as I finished my early morning run and walked to the school office to start my workday. The On the desk was a huge set of keys belonging to Robert, the school engineer. I asked, "Where's Robert?" Someone said, "He threw his keys on the table and left." My intuition went off like a 5-alarm fire. Something was very wrong. I turned on a dime and raced out of the office. In a few minutes, I was in front of his apartment, banging on the aluminum screen door. A dark shadow appeared on the other side of the screen. "What's up?" I said. I demanded. "It looks like you're trying to do yourself in." His meek reply was, "The razor blade was too dull." Robert was a tall, lanky, Black Native American. He had deep-set, troubled eyes that scanned the horizon like James Dean in the Texas movie Giant. His huge, rough hands looked like he had built America. He had traveled the world as a merchant marine. Today, he looked like he had hit bottom in his moldy apartment. "Robert, my furnished rental has just been vacated. Why don't you move in there? There are 2 conditions. 1, pay the rent on time. And 2, nobody is allowed in but your family." He moved into my antique barn, leaving everything behind. I promised him I would help him visit his relatives with whom he had broken all contact. We got to know his father, his grandmother, his mother, and celebrated his father's 80th birthday with a big Hawaiian party. Over time, I could tell Robert was fighting a dark secret lie. While speaking to his mother, I said, "My intuition tells me you have a deep family secret. If that is true, please tell it to Robert." I knew what you don't know can hurt you. She eventually revealed that to Robert that the family secret, Robert's grandfather, was an angry and violent drunk. He would beat and frighten Robert's grandmother and rape Robert's mother. The biggest secret was Robert himself. Robert's grandfather was also Robert's father. When Robert's mother discovered she was pregnant, she married another man, pretending the baby was his. Robert's behavior began to change a little. Eventually, he disappeared from my life, and his job. After a year, I assumed he had died. One day, a policeman called to ask if I knew Robert. He had found my name in Robert's wallet. He explained that Robert was found near death, crumpled on a sidewalk. 2 men had beaten him in the head with a brick. He was helpless. He was now lying in a hospital. I rushed to his side. He was encased in a net-covered bed. I told him I would return soon. Days later, I brought my Australian Shepherd, and we took him outside to play ball with abandon. After months of rehabilitation, he was able to walk out of the facility. The doctors released him to my care. And also I'd be responsible for his government financial assistance. I accepted this assignment and took him to a recovery home. Looking dazed and confused, clearly his brain needed time. My intuition told me he needed an art project. I bought him posters of dragons and color so that he could color and use a board and a lamp, even if it was dark. His artistic talent took flight and he forgot time. He then went to Newbridge, a narcotics recovery home. Our first adventure was to buy a TV and he picked up the clumsiest old 100-pound box. I said, "You deserve better." We got to the coolest 45-inch flat screen model we could afford. And then he became the man with the football and food in Robert's room. He studied, he got a driver's license and bought a car. He moved to an independent apartment where we visited every month. After 2 years, he died in his sleep of a heart attack. He ended up living well, dying well. When I contacted his son and his family, they were saddened. When they visited his beautiful apartment, they were pleased that their father was clean, sober, and happy. I turned over their inheritance of $28,000. My intuition saved Robert's life and restored his sanity and self-worth. I shed a lot of tears reviewing this painful story, but somehow I was also relieved. I acknowledged that the tears were worth it. It's not the story as much as the storyteller's transformation. Truly, if you believe God don't make no junk, don't be afraid to reach out. Trust your intuition. You may save someone's life with your gift. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sally Ways. And yes, that was really, really inspiring. I will request the timer to give 1 minute for the evaluator, and please intimate once that's over.
One minute.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kathleen. Our second speaker's evaluator will be distinguished Toastmaster Jay Ligda. He will announce speech, path, project, and timing. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Victor is working on the leadership development path. He's doing the first speech in the second level 1 project, evaluation and feedback timer. This is a 5 to 7 minute speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. Like I said, this is the first speech, so the purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator, which is me. I also have this bit of information. Victor will be sharing with us today a tool that has enhanced his experience with Toastmasters. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. And yes, it is his desire for you to be so enamored with it that we can't wait to do it ourselves. So can't wait for your speech, Toastmaster Victor Irving Jenkins. Please put your hands together for Warp Speed Meetings, Toastmaster Victor Irving Jenkins.
Greetings, one and all. I'd like to preface my talk with the Toastmasters mission, since I, like many of you here, love Toastmasters. This mission statement is one of the reasons I love Toastmasters, because the mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and a positive learning environment where every member develops communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Self-confidence and personal growth. Ladies and gentlemen, since I got introduced to Easy Speak several years ago, I have grown to be one of the biggest proponents, and in many ways, I'm the district go-to person, the District 39 go-to person for Easy Speak. One of the things that Easy Speak does is it makes your experience of Toastmasters a much better experience. It streamlines everything that you can imagine. What I'm going to do today, first of all, is give you my take, which I've already begun doing, on why Easy Speak works so well. And then I'm going to take a few minutes and show you in practice how it's going to help you. And then finally, I'm going to implore you to buy into this whole thing, because I have found that the way that you approach any change is significant in the way that that change affects you. So I want you to come in with an open mind, come in ready to be wild, ready to be wooed to the Easy Speak lifestyle. Now, if you're familiar with Easy Speak, then you're just going to have to be satisfied with my presentation skills and the fact that I'm the one doing the talk. And if what I say to you is already known to you, then just be gracious. Be gracious and listen to it one more time. I am going to show you what Easy Speak consists of right about now. This is a good place to start. So this is what Easy Speak looks like when you first sign in. There'll be other emails and other tutorials to show you how to sign in, but once you sign into Easy Speak, it's going to look like this. Beneath your name in Easy Speak is going to be all the clubs of which you are a member. So if you are a member of another club, you don't have to worry about that. Easy Speak is not going to impact that. And if you are already on Easy Speak, then you might want to tell your vice president of education that you're already on Easy Speak, so they can do a search and find you and just simply add Leaders Worldwide to your list of clubs that you are a member of. Easy Speak really makes the job a lot easier for the vice president of education. The vice president of education is the normal foundation of any clubs. And really, the vice president of education makes the president of the club look really good. And the vice president of education is going to love using this Easy Speak tool. And since we're on the topic of the vice president of education, I've already been working with your vice president of education, who deserves a round of applause, because she has taken up this Easy Speak and she has learned it well, so that you, the member, have to do very simple things. Now, the vice president of education has the lion's share of everything in Easy Speak, and Easy Speak does so much more than what I'm going to show you today. So there's 3 levels of Easy Speak. There is what the vice president of education does, right? And your vice president of education is already doing that and setting up a lot of these things in the background for you. And then it's what officers have, because officers have a different login, a different level of login from what regular members have. And then the regular members have what I call the My Participation tab. As a member, you see where it says My Participation, where my cursor is now. This is where you want to spend most of your time, because spending your time here will limit you unless you are a techie or you just really want to know how things work. You don't have to go anyplace else. What happens initially is you get an email similar to this one, where it says Easy Speak assignment. Where is it? Oh, here it is. You see where it says roll assignment for Monday, May 10th? You're going to get one of those sooner or later if you are a member of Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters. This is mine from one of my clubs, Power Talkers Toastmasters, and this is what it's going to look like. Hello, Asata. Susan Anderson has declined. Well, we don't really want to see that. We don't want to see anybody declining role. We want to see people accepting role. but you can use the following link to view the full meeting status. And when you get an email, you will get a link just like that one. And this is what it looks like. As a club member, you will see something that looks just like this. This one is for me. So here's Victor Irving Jenkins. This says, yes, I'm going to attend the meeting. And this tells all the speakers that's going to be at that particular meeting. These green check marks means that the speaker has already accepted the role that's been assigned to them. And the yellow question mark mean that they haven't. Now, the good thing about this is that if you are just minding your own business, moving along and not really thinking about Toastmasters, you have a cell phone and you can access EasySpeak from your cell phone, and it looks a bit different, but it looks just like this. And this tells me that I'm assigned as the first evaluator, and I can say yes or no. And this is the rest of the EasySpeak agenda. And this is what it looks like on a mobile device. Don't be intimidated by what I have just showed you, because what I have just showed you is simply, you go to my participation tab. If you want to sign up for a meeting, once you log in, you will see down here where it says sign up for a meeting, request a speech. These other areas were in use before Toastmasters moved into the Pathways arena. If you don't want to wait for the email, if you want to let us know that you are not going to be at a meeting, or you're going to be at a meeting, you simply come to the My Participation tab. Everyone see that where it says sign up for meeting? So you click on where it says sign up for meeting. And this is what it looks like. It gives you a month in it. So you have May 10th, May 17th, May 24th. If you're going to be at the meeting, you click yes. If you're not going to be at the meeting, you click no. And if you want to do any one of these roles here, you just click yes. So what this does is it gives you more time during the meeting to experience the Toastmasters. And right now we use some time at the end to see who the roles are going to be for. Now, the Vice President of Education has the ability to decide how far ahead they want to go, depending on how far they want to go. And you are even able to plan your life by looking ahead and seeing which meetings you're not going to attend, and you'll be able to tell everyone that you're not going to be at that meeting. So if I have interest, if I've developed enough interest for you in EasySpeak, we have completed several tutorials, and when it's your turn to be the Toastmaster, you'll be doing a little bit more than this. We have a tutorial, and we're going to put that in your hands, and you will be able to see the tutorial and view it in a manner just like I have just done a screen share. So EasySpeak is called EasySpeak for a reason, and it's because it's easy. And it's a club administration software, and it's not a clunky thing that you have to learn a whole lot more about. And you know how to reach me. You can reach me again through EasySpeak, and there's much more that I can share with you. And those of you who are really interested in what I just said, I want to hear from you, or Catherine wants to hear from you. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor and have yourself a good time. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm aware of EasySpeak. I've butted my head against it multiple times, and I thought it was misnamed. It is anything but easy. But trust me, today I might have just changed my mind. So purpose achieved. Congratulations. 1 minute for the evaluator. And Madam Timer, please intimate us when it's over. Thank you.
That was 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Madam Timer. And now we move on to Leaders Worldwide's Got Talent, because that's what our table topic session is titled today. So I will hand over the charge now to our table topics master, Ojewumi. I don't know, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's truly embarrassing. I cannot pronounce your name correctly.
I think it's Victor. Has that young man turned up yet, Mr. Toastmaster?
No. Oh,
It
oh,
looks like he's
Yeah.
turned into
yeah.
Victor.
Yeah, so yeah, the extent of my mispronunciation is so great that I said the name of the wrong person. So over to you, Toastmaster Victor Jenkins.
Thank you ever so much. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the impromptu portion of the meeting. For the benefits of the guests, we believe that everyone who joins the team, that is, show up at our meeting, they want to play. They want to have an opportunity to say something. So what most of us do during our life is impromptu speaking. So the table topics portion of the meeting is where members get a chance to impromptu say something. But like everything else in Toastmasters, it is a speech and it has timing constraints, because some people, as you know, will just go on and on and on if somebody didn't tell them it's time to shut up. Now, I'm not saying any of those people are here today, but there are people like that and they exist, right? I'm sure they exist. You might know somebody like that that just goes on and on. Well, anyway, table topics is the opportunity for that. So timer, will you please tell us what our special table topics timing constraints are for this particular session?
This one is 2 to 3 minutes. So it will be 2 for green, 2.5 for yellow, and 3 for red. And that is an extra minute for this special Got Talent session.
Okay, and I do want to point out, as that's not often pointed out, your table topics participation, your presentation, it doesn't have to be true. It can be whatever you want. It's impromptu, right? And if you don't want to do what the table topics master and me ask you to do, then you can do whatever you want. But the idea is to present something that's entertaining, that has a beginning, has a middle, has an end. And our first table topics participant today is going to be none other than Sarah Khan. Let's hear from Sarah Khan. Be sure and pin the timer, Sarah, so you'll know how much time you have.
Rosalind Khan.
Rosalind Khan, the word of the day is acknowledge. So I have just acknowledged that I didn't give you the word of the day. See, there it is. So Rosalind Khan, let's hear what you got to say.
Okay, do I have control? I want to show a picture. Can you share the screen?
Do I do that? Is Linda still here? Oh, Linda's got that.
Let me see. Okay.
There you go. You're now a co-host.
Okay, thank you. Just a second. Well, can you see this picture here?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want you to see. So here we go. I'm a woman of many talents, and so one of my favorite things is flowers. This is a beautiful flower that I had taken from the front of my yard. You'll see one behind me on the screen. And I'm also a poet that many of you don't know. So this is a title of a poem. It's called Sing Me a Melody, and it goes like this. Sing me a melody, share me a tune. Times will tell, the stories tell. Just listen, the hissing of the earth's horizon, uplifting life's one world, while homeless take the refuge of mount. Where is justice met, cast against the wire and mesh of its environment? each a reflection, a dejection of another's time. The words come and stop. So much to do, so little time. Cook a little, listen and learn, stretch, turn, the internal pain and a reflection of the world. That was the first one. And here's the second one. The black cat sat on its throne, leaping laps of royalty. I called your name, and gingerly you crawled down, shared your face, shared your smile, took the pain, gave your love, rolled and turned, relished in the touch, pressed up and joyfully passed on your merry way. And if that wasn't enough, there's just one more. The world is a-changing so fast, the superhighway of information colliding, subsiding. The hills are burning, the skies are raging. The citizens are a mirror of the tunnel, breaking out seemingly, jumping from buildings, tops, and bungee jumping, leaps knowing who will be there. People are taking their last leaps, knowing not better what is up there. The police play cops and robbers, forgetting their place, taking their job as the master. The pastor is practicing a parable, trying his best to muster the mast on Zoom. The teacher transforms the classroom of a homeroom. And these are just some opinions and ideas of what our world has transpired in this pandemic that we've endured. Thank you so much, Madam Table Topic Master.
And I too thank you. And for our next participant in this Leaders Worldwide Has Talent, they say some sing, some dance, some do poetry. Let's see what our next participant is going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Tala bin Hamid. Let's give it up. Tala.
Thank you so much, everyone. So today, what I have for you is also poetry after a fashion, but actually it was a rap song. And it is a rap song about Toastmasters. The origin story is that actually I was asked to speak on an area contest. And I thought, why make a conventional speech? Why not write poetry instead? And the poetry morphed into this. So without further ado, this is the rap titled Toastmasters Will Get You There. If you want to make your voice heard, if you want to achieve what you deserve, if you want to make a mark in this world, Toastmasters will get you there. All you got to do is dream and dare. Toastmasters will get you there. Dig in your heels and persevere. Toastmasters will get you there. Speak, inspire like never before. Shake your audience to the core. Take a little, give back even more. Toastmasters will get you there. All you got to do is dream and dare. Toastmasters will get you there. Dig in your heels and persevere. Toastmasters will get you there. This is the place where leaders are made. You'll travel the world and learn the trade. Your star will never ever fade, and Toastmasters will get you there. We've got to pay forward what we learn, help and get help at every turn. Together we will never crash and burn, and Toastmasters will get us there. All we got to do is dream and dare. Toastmasters will get us there. We got to dig in and persevere. Toastmasters will get us there. Toastmasters will get us there. Toastmasters will get us there. We got to dig in and persevere. Toastmasters will get us there. Over to
Thank you very
Table
much,
Topics
ladies
Master.
and gentlemen. I did not remind you of the word of the day, which is acknowledge, and I hope the grammarian was paying attention because you may have used it or you may have not. I don't know. Now it's time for a visitor. Any visitor who wants to dive into the fray and give us their rendition of Leaders Worldwide Got Talent, we are opening the field to you. All you need to do is unmute yourself, turn on your camera, and let her roll. Of course, I guess you could raise your hand first and notify me. And I'd like to say we have Sally Reyes. And don't forget the word of the day. The word of the day is acknowledge. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Sally Reyes.
Thank you for acknowledging me. I appreciate it. Easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these morning, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and you take the sky until that morning. There's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mommy standing by.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I believe that we are to turn this off at the 3 participants. And if that's not so, Mr. Toastmaster, you just tell me to pick one more and I'll be all over somebody. Okay, that must be so. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this portion of the meeting. Thank you for participating in this portion of the meeting. Now, does the timer tell us now who qualified, or is that?
Actually, you know what? We actually do have, if somebody would like to step up, we have another few minutes. We have another 5 minutes before the next item on the agenda, or 4 minutes.
Is that okay with the Toastmaster, since you are the boss right now? Tyler, aren't you the Toastmaster?
Yes, I am the Toastmaster, and yes, if somebody wants to step up, I
Okay,
believe.
thank you.
Yeah.
May we have another participant? Don't force me to sing, it'll hurt your
Kimmy
ears.
has her hand up.
Who's that?
Kimmy Avery.
Kimmy, let's hear what you got to say. Don't forget the word of the day is acknowledge. Let's give it up for Kimmy Avery.
Thank you. I acknowledge the brilliance of all the 3 other table topics people we've had today. This is a poem by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Her name is Hope, and she is 12 years old, going on 20 to life. She is God at 5 feet tall. Abre la puerta, open the door, and let her in, give her food. Old Florence lives in the parking garage at the university with her bags and packs on the floor all around, and she washes her 84-year-old body in the sink at the library with a piece of flannel from her deceased husband's pajamas. Abre la puerta, she is God. Florence is God. There is a God named Florencia. Remember that old abuelita, your grandest grandmother? How she staggered towards you on legs so thin? You were just a baby then, and she smiled all over your infant self. And when you rose young, steaming from the void, that was God in her abuelita form, crying with joy just to see you. Que bebita, you, she'd say to you. Oh, look at you, you baby, baby, you. Look, says God. She talks, God talks, baby talk. She opened the door of her belly for you. Your grandmother is God. God is a grandmother. And you remember that red room where you grew? That was God. And remember the warm hands that received you? That was God. And remember your father's hands holding your face as though it were some kind of jewel that might break? That was God. He was God in that moment. Your mate who snores? Well, God snores, you see. Your mate is God who can never find his socks, and your lover who burns for things you cannot give. That is God also. Your mate is God. God is a housewife in mud face and hair curlers at the door, waving goodbye in her house coat. God wears a house coat. And oh, the world that is young and has loved so deeply and been betrayed, whose skin hangs like rags, whose arms have no muscle, whose eyes have lost their luster. Open the door of your heartaches and step through the door of your betrayal. Pass through the hole that has been left in your heart Pass through because it is a door. Abre la puerta, open the door. Do you remember that your legs are el anillo, the ring that encircles your lover? Your legs make a door. Pass through that door. Abre la puerta, pass the bolt through. Open the door, the most sacred of doors. The trail through your belly and the road up your spine. Remember, fire is a door. A song is a door. A scar is a door. Abre la puerta, open the door. The forest on fire is a door, and the ocean ruined is a door. Anything that needs us or calls us to God is a door. Abre la puerta, open the door. Anything that hurts us, anything that needs us opens the door. Abre la puerta, open the door. All these years of seeming indestructibility, the grandfather of your world dies and his heart explodes and yours breaks into 1,000 pieces. These are doors. Open the doors. Abre la puerta. Open the door. Pass through these doors. Whatever has died and left its big muddy boots cold and hard by the back porch door, put them on. Walk through the door of this death, the door that dying has made for you. Walk in these boots that bend with your warmth. You are the grandfather now. You are the grandmother now. Abre la puerta, open the door. The world is a tribe of one-breasted women. Walk through the door of the scars on their chests. Abre la puerta, open the door. Over the edge of the world you go, into the abyss. You march in time and put the best medicine in the worst of wounds. Abre la puerta, open the door. The lake in which you almost drowned, that is a door. The slap in the face that made you kiss the floor, that is a door. The betrayal that sent you straight to hell, that is a door. Abre la puerta, open the door. Same old story. All strong souls go first to hell before they do the healing of the world they came here for. If we are lucky, we return to help those still trapped below. Abre la puerta, open the door. Hell is a door caused by pain. Opening a flower, rain opening the earth, the kisses of humans, opening the heart of the world. These are doors. Abre la puerta, open the door. The scar drawn by razors, that is a door. The scars that are doors are opened, are opened. Abre la puerta, open the door. The scar drawn by chainsaws across forest, those are doors. Open the doors. Abre la puerta. These are all doors. A poem of new life that comes with every dawn. The soaring of the sun, that is a door. The grave is a door. The door to hell is a door. Abre la puerta, open the door. Your grandmother, your grandfather, your mother, your father have died, leaving a hole in your life. Step through that hole. It is an opening. The hole is a threshold. That hole is a door. Abre la puerta, open the door. Abre la puerta, open the door. Abre la puerta, open the door. Back to you.
Wow.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And according to the agenda, we are right on time, just in time to return control to our fabulous Toastmaster of the day, none other than Talha bin Hamid. Talha, take it away, brother.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. And of course, opening the door now to the evaluation section, which is the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or tea, or water of champions. Take your pick. Or in case of Leaders Worldwide, the chocolate of champions. So with that, first of all, thank you for that beautiful, beautiful poem. And thank you everyone else for that beautiful session. And now it's it's a turn for our journal evaluator, Patricia Mansell Archive. So over to you, journal evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Talal, and congratulations to all our prepared speakers and those who participated in the impromptu session. This is the segment of our meeting where we listen to the reports from our TAC team to know how we have fared. I would like our timer to be the last so she's able to time the rest of the reporters. So first up, let's have Toastmaster Kimi. Do we have the speech evaluators ready, please? I didn't see the speech evaluators named. All right. So may we please have the first speech evaluator to come and give us the reports. You have the virtual lectern. Thank you.
That would be,
Sandra.
that'd be Cassandra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sandra, you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay. And this is for Sally Race. Sally, I wanted to say what an inspiring speech. I really enjoyed it. You touched upon some really amazing topics there in your speech. I want to say that to use intuition, if so many of us was to use our intuition, this world would be a better place. I know that over the weekend, I spoke to some people this weekend, and we were talking just about this very topic about intuition. And so intuition is a very useful tool if we would only, and all of us have this capability to use it, if we would just only be in touch with it. So you being in touch with your intuition and to be able to use it to help another person is an amazing thing. In your speech, you pulled together useful words that express just your empathy for your character in your speech. So I want to say that your use of words were very powerful, and your vocal range you used very well. You showed just how much emotion, and you brought your audience into your storytelling capabilities. I thought that was very powerful. You showed up very well in that capacity. So I want to say that was very good. You showed once again your empathy, your vocal range was very well. Your pace, I thought that you used your pace good. Your inflection, that was very good. I would like to see you position your camera a little better so that we can see your face, so that your facial gestures will come across a little bit better. There was times when you came up, we could see your facial expressions and gestures. That was really good. So if you can do that, I think that would help a lot. If you could use a little bit more body language, because there were times when you were talking, expressing yourself, we have all these different senses. And so with your body language, if we could use the body language more, I think that would come across, because your vocal, a person could hear, if they were hearing impaired, we could see your body language, they could see. So if they were hearing impaired, at least they could see what was going on. So being able to use all your senses would be very good. Overall, it was a great speech and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Sally. Toastmaster, back to you.
Thank you very much. We will now give the virtual stage to our second speech evaluator in the person of Toastmaster Jay. Over to you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. And welcome, Toastmasters, honored guest, and Victor. It was a great honor for me to be able to evaluate your speech, fellow Toastmaster junkie and easy speak enthusiast. Normally we do these evaluations, we try to do a sandwich method, something good, something to improve, something good. This might be more like a club sandwich with many different layers in it. We'll see how this works. Let me acknowledge first, you were very enthusiastic from the beginning, reading the mission statement and sharing your passion about Toastmasters and the mission with us. It draws me right in. However, you started off, you said, I'd like to preface my talk with, and you went on. That always takes away a little bit of energy from me to say, I'd like to start with. You could have just started off with the mission statement, the Toastmasters mission statement, and started to share it with that kind of enthusiasm. That's the intro you need that will draw me right in. I could tell you are very passionate about Easy Speak, and once again, drawing me in with that passion, you said, I'm going to show you how this is going to help you. So right away, connecting with the needs of the fellow Toastmasters. One thing that was lacking a little bit was you didn't tell us what Easy Speak was. I think you might have taken for granted we already knew, or we knew. I would have spent a little time to tell us what Easy Speak was right at the beginning. You did at the end, but in the beginning would have been much better. I also want to caution you to be aware of vague terms. You said at one point, if you're already on Easy Speak, tell your VP&E that you're already on it, but of which club? Now these, in many cases, like in this one, the term can be deciphered from the context, but not everyone's going to be able to do that, or it's going to take a little extra energy for them to figure out what you're talking about. So I would just want to caution you about vague terms like that and leave less to potential misunderstanding. I also want to suggest that you use slides instead of live demo to limit technical glitches. It took a little time for you to bring up those emails, but if you had them ready on a slide, it would have been right there for us. I love the ending, how you stressed the easy aspect of Easy Speak. You also had a call to action. I always like it endings to circle back to the beginning, maybe try bringing the mission statement back in and linking it with the easy aspect of Easy Speak. You asked me, how could you improve the buy-in? Like I said, define Easy Speak at the beginning and stress easy at the beginning and use it often as if it were the word of the day throughout your speech. After each segment, say, wasn't that easy? Doesn't that look easy? And just emphasize that point. And lastly, I want to acknowledge your use of the pathways, your Pathways speech projects to teach us and to get Toastmasters credit while teaching and sharing your passion with us. Thanks for sharing your passion. I know it will be contagious, and go Easy Speak. Yay. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for that succinct evaluation. Indeed, I love to acknowledge the fact that Easy Speak does make the work of VPEs quite easy. We would now invite to the lectern our grammarian and our counter to let us know how we fared with our command of the English language. Over to you, Kimi.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Talha used the word of the day at least twice. I may have missed once or twice, and I apologize for that. You said a couple so two of those, and two so's. Linda her speech was perfect. However, in the question and answer, she did a couple ums, 2 of them, one and one but that were sort of sketchy in terms of location. Patricia, you did use the word at least twice, you used the word acknowledgement or acknowledge. Sally used acknowledge once, and she also used beautiful descriptions in her storytelling. I really enjoyed that. Cassandra used 5 times and 1 so. Jay used the word acknowledge 4 times. Victor used it once. And that is the report. I may have missed a few because I was so engrossed in the speeches. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks for acknowledging the fact that tonight's meeting has been full of engaging speeches. And I would love to have us all give them a virtual round of applause for preparing their speeches to give us such wealth of information that is honoring their Toastmasters promise of ensuring that they're delivering their speeches and giving us quality. I would now love to invite to the virtual lectern our timer, who is going to let us know if we made money or we lost some. Over to you, Toastmaster Katri. Time is money.
We're rich. Sally was 7 minutes, 24 seconds. Victor, 7:45. Rosalind, in her beautiful table topics, was 2:45. Talha, 1:45. Sally, 1:12. And then Kimmy made up for any brief table topics with 7 minutes of the most blessed, the most sacred. She really elevated for me the meeting with her beautiful poem, or Clarissa Pinkola Estes' poem. Cassandra's evaluation was 3:20, Jay's was 3:24. We are rich.
Oh, it's a good thing I sped up there somewhere.
It is definitely delightful to know that we are rich and we still got cash in the bank. To give my final report on how well we fared during the meeting, I would say we have done extremely well. Right from the moment where guests could come in and network, I could see over 10 people in the room. That was really well done. Role players were on time, and I would have loved to see the meet and greet team engaging through the chat room as well early on. But as the meeting progressed, we had the link to encourage guests to sign up. I would also love to encourage that instead of just asking guests to sign up, we can use those 30 minutes to invite the guests to say something about what they are expecting from the meeting. That way we have enough heads up to ensure we meet their needs. Moving along, the breakout room, I believe they will join us soon and tell us how their meeting went. But our numbers for tonight, I'm sure would have made the breakout rooms probably had a few role players missing. That was already announced. And I believe the Toastmaster of the day worked well to get other meeting attendees to take on roles, especially for table topics, which was well run. And indeed, Leaders Worldwide's Got Talent We have enjoyed a poetry recital, a rap session, reading out of a book, and it has all engaged our minds. And I believe after the meeting, we would all look out for those links or those books to get more information. As part of the general evaluator session, I would also want to comment on Leaders Worldwide Open House, which has been very consistent and very engaging. We will need to have more opportunities for members to engage the posts on social media. Our president is doing an awesome job, but I don't know how many members actually engage the posts. That would also do a lot of good to invite more attendees. In a nutshell, it has been a great meeting, and I must say, I didn't feel at all that I have been sitting all day. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. And as they say, feedback is the breakfast of champions, but I believe today it was an 8-course meal. It managed to fulfill us in every way. So congratulations to the Journal Evaluator, to the role players, and to the evaluators for doing such glorious justice to the superb content that was delivered during this meeting. So with that, I believe there's nothing else to do but to hand over the charge to our VP Education to enlist next meeting role assignments. And after that, we'll invite the president to the podium. So over to you, VP Education.
I just want to ask quickly if we have a Toastmaster role, someone who would like to pop into the Toastmaster role.
And what's the date? What's the date that you're asking for?
Oh my goodness, that is, I'm supposed to know
the 24th,
that.
The 24th,
thank you.
25th,
That's
24th.
right.
2 weeks from today, same time.
We are looking for a Toastmaster, and we're also looking for table topics.
And a general evaluator, right?
That's it.
Okay, so who's up for Toastmaster? We got to do this quickly because we're running out of time today because we had such an amazing meeting. So,
do we have a Toastmaster?
I think we have table topics. Can you check our list? I think Kimmy is going to be, and that's the 17th. Okay. So we need a table topics and a Toastmaster. I know, Victor, you want to speak, so we're going to not have you fill one of those roles. Jay, would you be able to fill either table topics or a general evaluator or Toastmaster? I know you're going to be, no, you won't be speaking on that day. Mm-hmm.
This is 2 weeks from, actually it's 3 weeks, right?
No, 2 weeks from today, the 24th, and it is in the afternoon meeting, same time as today.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure I'm going to be there right now.
Okay. You can get back to Kathleen. And Tala, would you like to take on either of those roles? Maybe general evaluator or table topics?
Well, I think I'd like to take up table topics if possible.
Table topics. Okay.
Wonderful,
And Roslyn, are you up for general evaluator or Toastmaster in 2 weeks at this time frame? You're muted. You're muted. You're still muted.
You know me and my grand entrances. I love those grand entrances. Okay, so which is more necessary, the Toastmaster or the general evaluator?
The Toastmaster.
Yeah, Toastmaster, absolutely.
Okay, let me check the date on my calendar really quickly. Date on the calendar. And the date is that.
We'll see you next time. It's May 24th.
Okay.
And is anyone else up for being Toastmaster? Isaac, would you like to be Toastmaster?
Yes, I would.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Okay, thank you. So I will be pursuing contacts with each of you. So we'll go on with the meeting now.
Okay, great. And I wanted to thank you, Kathleen. Oh, I love that we have these 3 major roles filled. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Kathleen. And thank you for all volunteers. Great. And I wanted to give you an update on the Speakers Bureau. Rosalind says she has a commitment that day. So we'll be looking for another, are we looking for a Toastmaster?
I'll worry about it. It's
Okay.
okay. It's okay. I'll grab one. I'll be after you.
Oh, general evaluator, she said. Okay. Great. So Speakers Bureau, they had the link to people to sign up and they weren't ready yet. And they're having to, because of technology, they're having to use another format to do it. And so they're building out a web page on District 57. So that's kind of in loggerjam right now. They were busy with the conference. We're hoping that they will have the website up and running by June, and we will keep you updated when it is. And then you can sign up and away we go. That's going to be an excellent way for all members of District 57, which Leaders Worldwide can be speakers, and all clubs around the world can ask for speakers. And so when you join Leaders Worldwide, if you want to join as a new member, then you can join the Speakers Bureau. There's some criteria. I can let you know that later. And then you can speak all around the world. Great. Excellent. So now it's time for takeaways and chocolates. Who wants to share their experience? And I can't see any hand raisers. So Linda, can you look for me? And one other announcement, the May 31st is Memorial Day. Michelle reminded me of that. And so we won't be able to have a 20-minute meeting even on Memorial Day. That's just too much to ask people for. So we're going to arrange that for the first week in June to have the meeting around 12 o'clock to 12:20 to vote for our new officers. And hopefully it will just take 20 minutes and then you can get off the phone. And then we will have a regular meeting starting at 5:30 with global networking. So we'll send you an email to remind you of the date and let you know all about that. So who do we have that wants to share their takeaway?
Deanna?
Can you put it in the chat, Deanna, please? And we will read it. Put it in the chat. Okay, and I will read it. Okay, anyone else want to share their takeaway? I want to hear Tala, how his rap song went.
Well, who am I to judge? I believe better ask the audience, right?
Well, I want to hear your experience.
Well, okay. It was really nice because the initial version I recorded as a video, and perhaps I've shared that with you. But while recording a video, you're your only audience, right? But delivering it like this before an audience and seeing people's reactions, that was super amazing, and that really there was a very positive exchange of energy during the rendition. So yeah, it was a fantastic experience.
Great. And would you like a virtual chocolate?
Very much so. I would like all of them.
A whole box? Here you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's heavy. Boom.
Thank you. Let me find a space to stash it and away from the kids.
And no calories, so you can actually eat the whole box at once with
Yes,
no problem.
exactly. Not that I care, but okay.
Okay, and does someone else want to share? Linda, would you like to share your experience from today with your beautiful, amazing speech?
No, actually I wouldn't, but thank you for asking.
Oh, Okay. Is there anyone else that wants to share?
Sheena.
Sheena, and then Sally. I saw Sally too. So
Okay,
Sheena.
so on a personal level, I thank everybody for making me so welcome. And I feel very relaxed in all your company. And that's important for me to feel that. So that's the first thing. I think that what I really liked tonight was, well, just today with you, was Linda's presentation. I thought was excellent. And I saw another side to Linda. I'm not saying that she had a bad side. I don't think you've got a bad side, Linda, but I saw something very different tonight, which I really liked. I saw that compare, contrast, that heartfelt, and I loved your calm influence, because I think they both sit very well together, and it's finding that balance. And I really liked how you, the points you made and how you delivered that. And when you spoke about the military, I got that because I'd done a little spell at Sandhurst, and I found that was not my cup of tea, because I had soft skills, but I had to learn to take that leadership command. And I've not really heard anybody speak about that like you did. So very well done. And I think I've probably put you up another couple of levels. So you'll wow the audience this week on Thursday. You'll wow them.
Thank you so much, Sheena. That means
And
a whole
actually,
lot.
the other thing was that Andrea spoke earlier, and what I liked is that we don't often get people with presence, and I liked Andrea's presence in particular. And everything about it. I thought, oh, this is amazing. So that was something that I think that I will be using maybe more in my training, and maybe it's something we all think about, is how do we step up and be great, everybody?
Beautiful. Would you like a chocolate?
Yes, you're very, because there's not chocolate there, and I've none in the house.
But virtual chocolate. Here you go. Great, thank you. And Sally, I'm sorry.
Can I just share that I go to the garage at midnight in my pajamas for chocolate?
Your secret stash. Beautiful. And Sally, I'm sorry we've run out of time, so you can share next time, and you can share with me privately after the Zoom meeting has ended. Thank you so much for today. I think this was an excellent meeting. I agree with Sheena. Linda's presentation was absolutely top notch, and it really showed her heart for leadership and her awakening into leadership. Beautiful, beautiful. And everyone did a great job today. Well, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now.